What's up, everyone, and welcome to the first installment of Husetarts Radio. I'm Jordan. We have Matt.
Hi.
Calvin.
What's happening?
And we're looking forward to starting this first podcast here, first episode. So what we plan on doing is running through some basic updates for our channel, Husetarts, and... Wow, I can't speak today, boys. In general, just run through stuff that's going on through Husetarts. Some stuff that we've been playing video game-wise, and just some stuff that's going on in the news, I guess, right?
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful to me. Let's get it going.
So I guess first things first, Calvin, what we got going on in Husetarts these days?
Same old right now. Trying to get some gameplay on the channel, working on the comic book, writing some, oh, I think I hit my mic. Hoping to get some filming done sometime soon. Same old, really.
Same old stuff. Gameplay videos, highlight videos, stuff like that. So I guess running off of that, Matt, what kind of games have you been playing this month?
I've been playing a lot of, the newest game. Well, not newest, but like hottest game right now is probably Fortnite. We've been playing that a lot.
Well, you guys have.
Yeah.
A lot of Fortnite.
Lots of
hype
Fortnite,
train.
man. I wasted a lot of money in that game.
Dude. You've been getting into it.
You know, I was slightly on the train, then I was off the train for a bit, and then I hopped back on the train recently, but I think it's slowly starting to derail itself.
We just haven't played. We got to get back on it.
I mean, I guess that's what it is, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of solo, so like I usually play with you guys. But then we just started playing State of Decay 2 yesterday. That was fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool game.
Yeah. I haven't played a lot of FIFA lately, like I've been doing, but there's a new expansion package you can call to it coming out the 29th of this month.
Yeah,
for the World
they're
Cup.
done,
Yeah.
like fully releasing new games of those, right? So they're basically just going to keep updating the one they currently have out, right?
It's a concept they're thinking of. So basically, what they want to do instead of releasing a new game every year, you're going to basically pay for like a pass, I guess you can call it. And they said it's probably going to be almost every year or whenever things are really significantly changed in each league, that the players are going to be updated. There's going to be new items added, and you just pay for them basically. You're not going to pay for an entire new game. I think they said like a whole pass for, I think, a year and a half or something like that, or whatever it is. Pay $150 for a pass, and you're going to get a lot more.
$150.
Yeah, but I think that's what it said. I can't quite remember. It's been a month or two. Something like that, yeah.
Well, a year and a half, at that rate, you'd be paying, like, I guess, $90. So that'd be to pay for a game and then half of a game. I would never pay $150 for that.
Yeah, that's...
Like, unless if I'm getting, like, a brand new game for that price, I would never pay $150 for that.
I'm not sure if that's the exact price.
I would
it's
never
it's
pay
been a
$150
while since
for a new game.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually looked into it. It's been a couple months.
Right.
But yeah, they're thinking about doing that. It's going to be like more like a pass, and they're going to just update, basically get the game a new update, and they're going to be probably one of the first games to ever do that.
That's an interesting concept. We'll see what happens there, I guess, right?
Yeah, I hope they do it, because it'd be a lot better than just buying a new game every year, you know what I mean?
Not if it costs $150.
Alright, it might not cost $150.
Dude,
I might be exaggerating,
like
but
the
like...
the price is $60, like, I feel like I can justify that if I'm getting a year and a half out of it, because like I already paid for the game. I mean, unless I'm getting like a major update, like I wouldn't pay that, but that's just my opinion. I'm not like a big FIFA fan, so that's just coming from me.
Yeah, that's what I paid like $100 version each year, so...
I would never spend that much money on a video game. Never.
But we mentioned State of Decay 2. Let's have a little backtrack and talk about that game for a little bit. We didn't play much of it, but from what we have played, what do you guys think of it?
I'm really enjoying it so far. I played a little bit more than you guys. I played a little bit of solo. Got a little bit farther than you guys did. I recruited some people and started some gardens and all that, and I'm enjoying it. It's a lot like the first one.
Right. I played
it's
bits
like
and
a
pieces
lot
of the first
like
one.
the first one.
I actually never played it, the first one, so...
See, I'm liking the second one so far, at least from what I've played of it, but my only thing I'm not too fond of yet is the multiplayer. Like, I know that's like the big thing that they just changed, and it's like, it's now multiplayer, you can play with 4 of your friends. Like, that's pretty cool. But I feel like the way they've implemented is pretty poor, at least from what we've tried so far, in my opinion, because of the whole, oh, you need to rest your people, but if you're not playing on your solo career or whatever, your solo gameplay, you can't really do much.
Yeah,
because
because
like end up dying. Because like what we had last night with Matt, like we were playing it and he hasn't really started anything solo. He doesn't have shelter or a house or anything to rest at, so it's just like he's dying and that's it.
yeah, and like you guys
Yeah.
like know me, like I'm not a like I don't like playing those games a lot by myself because I just get bored easily. So like I actually tried hopping on today, and I played maybe a half hour of it, and I just got really bored. And like I like playing those games with other people. So
Yeah, I
like
feel that.
that's it. That's gonna be like a hard thing for me to keep going. So hopefully they change that up. And also how you were saying yesterday, how you're the only one really able to control the whole
Yeah, that
like,
too. The whole base
yeah.
control scheme. Was
base
just,
control.
like,
Yeah,
like we were trying to get Calvin over there to figure something. I was like, go to base, and he was like, they don't have that option. I'm like, what do you mean? Why not?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I,
like-
get, I get that it's technically what they call it, colony or something like that. Well, I forget what the
Mhm.
term is, but it's like, you know, you're there and you're the only person that can run it because it's your save. I can understand if you were to maybe have more control, more or less. You have options that only you have, but the other people that you've already invited into your game is able to control something.
Mm-hmm.
it'd be smarter. Like I said, the game just came out, the multiplayer.
True, it only
so
came out
maybe-
a couple days
yeah.
ago.
Yeah, so
I mean, think about it, I can see sort of why they've implemented the whole only the owner of the colony or whatever they call it is able to control things, because you can set it to public. If you
Mhm.
have some like rando join in and just trash everything, I can see that being the reason to have that sort of control scheme with it. But I still think it's sort of lax for what it is right now.
yeah.
Hopefully they change
you-
it.
I definitely think the multiplayer needs a little bit of work.
But like
Just-
I said, it just came out, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully some updates will roll out though.
Honestly, the only thing they really need to change is instead of having it where you're separate communities, maybe make it once you join someone's game, you're in their community and
Right.
can use the same resources.
Like sort of give
'Cause-
everyone their same little safe house area. So instead of us sharing that one house, we each have our own, maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe, yeah. Or
It'll be
yeah,
like,
like
yo, that
say
way-
they brought my house into
Yeah,
your
exactly.
server, so I can actually drop stuff off and get stuff.
And that way
'Cause-
they can't keep that whole only you can control your base situation going, because then you have your own to manage, I have my own to manage and whatnot.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be the better idea, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not a game developer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see what they do with it.
I mean,
Right now, like yeah.
we did just start, so we may be
True.
missing something.
That's true. We
But-
could be missing something.
From
But-
what I can tell, it definitely needs some work.
The one game I've been playing, I'm really already addicted to, has been Detroit
Oh,
Become
yeah.
Human. I'm so addicted, I think it's a bad thing.
Dude, that game looks so good.
But it's so good. The story's fantastic. Like, hands down so far, probably is a toss-up for me right now between my favorite game of 2018 so far, because I really loved God of War.
Uh,
I mean, minus the amount of times I've had to hear the word boy come out of his mouth.
Boy.
Minus that. But other than that, it's a toss-up right now between God of War and Detroit Become Human, story-wise. But
was Detroit made by the people that made Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls?
yeah, Quantic Dream.
Yeah, they're so good. All their
Well,
games.
so, I mean, the moment that I saw that Quantic Dream was developing another game, I was like, I'm so pumped.
Beyond Two Souls is one of my favorite games of all time.
See, my only thing though is like reading up in the hype leading up to this game being released was a lot of people talking about it has to stand out to a lot of AAA titles coming out on top of it, because Quantic Dream isn't this big company. I mean, they're a big company, but not like EA or
They're
something
definitely
like that.
getting there.
But they have all these other titles coming out for the PlayStation, other exclusives. Like, it's gonna have to end up competing with The Last of Us 2 when that finally comes out. I mean, granted, it's dropped way before that.
I don't
Yeah.
think that comes out for another year at
Well,
least.
yeah, but still, I'm just saying. I mean, at the point of that game, it's so tied in with choices, there's basically like an unlimited replay value with that game because you can change everything. There's so many different endings that you can play that game for a couple months at least. But I mean, it's still got some other titles coming out for the PlayStation it's gonna have to battle against. But I feel like it's gonna do pretty good though.
I might have to come over to your house, J-Rock, one day and play Last of Us.
That was such a good game.
I haven't got to play it. I've watched gameplay of it for so many years. Like, since it came out from till now, basically, I still watch gameplay of it because I don't have a PlayStation. I want to play it so bad. And when Last of Us 2 comes out, I might literally just buy it and come over to your house and play it all day.
It's so good. I love it.
I need a PlayStation bad.
Dude,
the PlayStation exclusives are so good.
That's what it is. The PlayStation
That's all it is
exclusive
good for.
is what
That's all
sold
it's
me on
good
a
for.
PlayStation. Because everyone's like, do you pay for PS Plus? Do you play multiplayer? Do you play Call of Duty on your PlayStation? Like, no, I don't, okay? I play story games, and that's it.
I'm here for the exclusives.
Exactly. I love a good linear story, and Sony is the only console that has those rolling right now.
Dude, Spider-Man comes out really soon.
Oh my
The
God.
hype.
I'm like trying my best to get a PlayStation before that game comes out. You don't understand. Like, I
Spider-Man's
need
a
to
game
play
we're
that
hyped for.
game.
Well, Calvin's really hyped for it. I'm sort of hyped for it because I'm just curious to see how it goes. But
It looks
Calvin's
so
really
good,
hyped.
dude. It looks so good.
What other games we hyped for?
Dude, I think you can guess.
Can we guess? I mean, minus
I'm
Spider-Man. Give me a hint.
Minus Spider-Man. Dude, it's a little iffy. It's a little
A little iffy.
with two companies behind it, but I still think it looks amazing.
What are we talking about?
Anthem, dude.
Oh, I forgot about
Oh
Anthem.
my God, I forgot
See,
about Anthem. Yeah, we
I've
were talking
already
about this for how
forgot
long
about
now?
Anthem. I was so hyped for Anthem at first, and then it's been delayed so much that I already forgot about it.
Dude, I can't forget about it. That trailer stuck with me, dude. It looks like the greatest game.
The trailer
ever.
looks so good, but I hated the scripted acting.
Yeah, that was a little rough.
It was
That a
so
little rough.
cringy. When that, how long ago was that? 2 years ago? A year ago? That
I think
they
it was
released
last
that trailer?
E3.
Yeah,
last
last
E3.
Easter.
Like watching that trailer was the gameplay looked awesome, but then having to sit through that cringeworthy commentary was so bad.
Dude, I didn't even mind because the game looked so good.
No, I'm
Honest.
not taking away from the game at all. I'm just saying that I think it would have been better if they got rid of that commentary and just show gameplay, like put some music over it or something. But
I think
That's just me.
Anthem is going to have a really big presence at this year's E3.
oh, it's
I
got
think
to. If
it's
they
gonna-
still want hype behind that game, they're gonna have to. After delaying
Yeah.
it till 2019, and they'll probably delay it again.
I think it's going to have a really big presence.
I just love how they have to be like, yeah, we didn't delay it for the new Battlefield. I think it,
Oh my god! Don't even get me started on those. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Not
get me
hype.
wrong. Like, I love a good first-person shooter every once in a while, but they're just getting ridiculous at this point.
Yeah. I want something new.
I don't know. Like, well, I guess while we're talking about first-person shooters. Black Ops 4. And we recently had a trailer
Yeah.
for that. What are we thinking?
I'm
No
Zombies.
No campaign. on
I'm
release.
excited for zombies. I'm excited for zombies.
I feel like that's all we're ever hyped for anymore. It's just like I'm buying it just to play zombies, and that's it.
Dude, I've told you guys a million times. I don't care about Call of Duty. All I care about is zombies. Call of Duty zombies. That's all I care
Isn't it?
about from
Well, it's
Call
coming
of
out
Duty.
October 12th, right?
Something
Yeah.
like that, yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. We think it's a bit skeptical. No campaign.
Uh,
I don't
Mm.
think it's really necessary. I have a feeling like no one really plays the campaigns anymore. It's not like how when we grew up, we played the campaign and then played the multiplayer. Everyone just skips right to multiplayer or zombies, I think.
yeah. I've liked a few of the COD campaigns, especially Treyarch's, but don't think it's necessary
I
for
definitely
the Call of
feel that
Duty
nowadays.
community.
Nowadays, I feel like a lot of people just skip it and go right to multiplayer. So I kind of see where
Mhm.
they're going with it. But it's just like, it's just kind of weird, I guess.
Like, there's like, why put all that effort into a campaign when, let's say, let's
But-
put a small scale, out of 100 people buy it, and only 10 people actually do the campaign, and the rest of the 90 either
Right.
go to zombies or multiplayer.
See, but like, the only thing I'm thinking right now, though, is if there's no campaign, I expect the rest of the game to be flawless.
Exactly, that gives them more time to work on things, or maybe even add more things to multiplayer or the zombies.
Well, we already know they're using a lot of the time that they cut out from campaign into zombies because the game is launching with 3 zombie maps.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And rumor has it that each DLC pack is going to have 2 zombie maps. That's insane.
See, but that's what I mean. Like, I want that kind of effort put into it. If you're gonna take something else out, like, I want something else in return. And on
Yeah.
top of it, I'm expecting it to not necessarily be completely bug-free, but, you know, I expect it to be well-tested and at least decently put together on launch and not hacked together like some of these Call of Duties have been recently.
Yeah. I hope Call of Duty kind of gets their shit together, in all honesty.
I mean, they have to. If they want to keep going, they have to.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had a new Call of Duty every year for the past, 5 years? Something stupid like that.
Longer than that, dude.
Yeah,
it's
longer than that.
ridiculous. Like, I remember when it first started.
They've
It was
had a
just-
Call of Duty.
I sound like I'm old saying I remember, but it's like back when it was every once in a while, it was like, here's a Call of Duty. Like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you time to actually play the other one. And then nowadays, like, Black Ops 4, here's Modern Warfare 97. Like, stop, please.
Yeah, well,
There's been a Call of Duty every year for as long as I can remember, dude.
But like now,
Like,
now
if-
it's starting to be the same thing with Battlefield, though. Like, what is that?
I've never been a fan of Battlefield,
See,
honestly.
I've loved Battlefield. I played it since Bad Company 2 is when I really started to dive into the series. But it's just like, nowadays, they used to be the brand that was pushing out a game every once in a while. They'd keep updating, but now they're on the same train where it's, oh, here's another Battlefield. Well, I barely had time to play the other one. It takes forever to level up in those games anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like, Call of Duty, I think they need to slow down. They released a new game, I think, from 2004 or like 2005. I think 2004 is when 2003 actually is when the first Call of Duty came out. Ever since then, they've released a new game each year, and
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
releasing
ridiculous.
2 games a year.
it's ridiculous. One thing I think I already hate about Black Ops 4 is the Battle Royale mode.
They're just trying to catch on the
That
trend.
has to not be
I
a
have
thing.
mixed feelings.
That has to not be a thing.
It's already a thing, dude.
Well, I know it's a thing,
It's
but
a
it
thing.
has to stop. Like, right there. Like,
They're trying to catch on to the train.
I get that.
They're
I get
gonna.
that's the
People
hype
are gonna
currently.
buy it. People are gonna buy it. Then
Well, people are gonna
they're
buy
gonna-
regardless because it's Call of Duty.
exactly, but now more like the little kids that don't really know much about Call of Duty, like my
Oh,
little
God,
brother, 12,
Oh,
12
God,
years
yeah.
old, he's probably gonna buy it now.
But it's got Battle Royale. I'm buying that for $60.
Exactly.
For me, if it was like, here's Call of Duty Battle Royale 2017, I'd be like, are you kidding me? Get that out of my face. If I
Do you
want to play
guys
that, I'll play Fortnite.
do you guys think that ties into what I'm gonna ask? Do you guys think COD's Battle Royale will affect how popular Fortnite is?
Oh God, no.
And
No.
I think it won't put a damper on Fortnite at all. I think
Well,
it actually might make it
Hold
better.
on. Rephrase your as affected as how, like positively or negatively?
Negatively.
No.
n- In terms of game, like people playing the game, or just battle
People
royale games in
playing,
general.
yeah.
Playing, oh God, no. No,
I
because
think
if people
I'll-
are gonna want to play a battle royale game, they're gonna go to Fortnite or PUBG, but mainly Fortnite nowadays. But whatever the hell Call of Duty is trying to throw together, I doubt is gonna damper anything with those two.
I
See,
think
I'm-
they'll put a
I'm a little
damper on the
worried.
first couple of weeks, and then after that, people are gonna be like, "Wow."
Okay, I can
Like,
agree
they-
with the couple weeks thing because so they're gonna pick up the game like, let me give this a shot, and
Yeah.
then be like, wow, this is trash. I'm going back to playing Fortnite.
See, I'm a little worried because like everyone plays Call of Duty almost. Like it's always a
Well, yeah,
huge
but how long
thing.
have you played Call of Duty for? Like, when the new one comes out, I tend to put it down within like the first 2 months.
Dude, it's sooner
Recently,
for me.
yeah.
It's sooner
Recently,
for
it's been
me.
like that. The last Call of Duty game I've actually played for more than 2 months, I think was. Oh, I don't even know, man. I think was it Modern Warfare 3?
Like, don't get me wrong.
I
Like,
don't remember the
recently,
order.
I played a couple matches at World War II just because I was like, I'm bored. I just want like a
Mhm.
quick, fast-paced whatever. So I played some Call of Duty, and I'm probably never gonna play it again.
I honestly stopped playing World War II like first week, if not second week.
See, the
Oh, yeah,
thing
no,
that I think
that's like
ruins
the
it for
first
me
month.
nowadays is the stupid loot boxes.
Yeah.
It's just too much for me. I want to go back. Like, I'm looking at the games right now. I want to just go back to Black Ops 2, man. Let's just go Black Ops
Like,
Black
the
Ops
loot
2 and
boxes have
end
been
it there.
taking over the stupid world. Like, you know how much I love Forza. They're in that game now. Like, how do you do that? How do you implement
They're in
loot
that
boxes
game?
into Forza?
There's,
I picked up Forza
there's loot
7.
boxes in
Love
Forza.
Forza. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I picked the game up. They're like, here's some loot crates because you bought like the Ultimate Edition. I was like, uninstall immediately because I'm not playing a fucking Forza game with loot boxes.
That's insane.
I was like, you
There's no
kidding me?
need for
Are you
that.
kidding me? There isn't. They need to stop. Let's see.
I'm hoping with how big God of War was, like it hit 50 million copies sold. I'm hoping game developers will start to be like take it back from multiplayer a bit and
Oh, well, yeah.
go
Well,
back
there's
to
so
like,
many-
story focused.
I forget what company it was, but I remember someone saying like, "Oh, no one wants linear games anymore." Are you kidding me? No one wants linear games anymore. Look at God of War, Detroit
Yeah, I
Become
saw.
Human. The sales are ridiculous. Everyone loves a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty, don't listen to that one. No one enjoys your stories anymore. But actual good linear companies listen closely and start making more linear stories.
When was the last time you like? What was the last Call of Duty that you actually liked for the campaign? I don't remember. I think
Black Ops 2.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say. I think
honestly-
mine was like Black Ops.
I honestly loved World War II's campaign.
Really?
Not gonna lie, I loved it, dude. I
never
thought it was so
played it.
good.
Maybe I'm the reason why they stopped making campaigns.
Yeah, the cutscenes were like they looked like movies. Like it was amazing to me. I really enjoyed it. The characters are really good.
Let's see, how do you guys feel about Red Dead Redemption 2?
Never played
Oh,
the
yeah.
first one.
What?
I
No
never played. I
opinions.
watched gameplay of
My
it.
God.
Never played it, man.
They're so good.
Not
Oh,
a big
it's so good.
Rockstar fan.
Can we actually talk about something real quick before we because since we didn't play Red Dead Redemption, I watched a little bit of
I
gameplay.
just want to see what the hype was.
Yeah. Calvin, you played Dark Souls, right?
Oh god.
Yeah,
Don't remind
They're-
me.
a little bit.
I have
Alright.
flashbacks.
Do you know they're remastering it to the Switch?
What?
I knew
Yeah.
about the remaster. I didn't know
Why?
it was on the Switch.
I don't know why they're they're
Okay,
making it for the
well,
Switch
okay.
now.
Yeah, I can understand the Switch because it does have an actual like controller. I guess a decent controller opposed to whatever the Wii U's gamepad was or the Wii's motion controls. Like I can understand switching it to the Switch, but I still don't see the
I mean,
appeal.
it's not just for the Switch; it's for all consoles.
Well, yeah, but it's still just
Yeah,
throwing to the
like,
Switch. is
they're
kinda
adding it to the
weird.
Switch. Yeah, it's gonna be for
I
like for
mean-
the
Am I gonna be able to use Nintendo Cardboard to play this game?
Nintendo
pretty dope.
Cardboard.
What do they call
But,
it? Rainbow or something like that?
like I was actually
Tableau?
pretty surprised because like I'm not surprised because a lot of people that have the Switch are people like I don't want to say like nerds, but like are people that play those games.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I mean,
sure
I
there's a
feel
lot
that.
of people that go Nintendo that would like to play Dark Souls.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean,
So-
I love a good Mario game every once in a while. Like Mario Maker was
I
a big
don't.
hit. I mean, I don't have a Switch. The last Nintendo console I owned was a Wii, like the original Wii.
I think it was a
Yeah,
DS,
same.
man.
Like, if I wanted to play a decent Nintendo game, like GoldenEye 007 all the way.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Without a
I'll
doubt.
crack out the 64 and go play that. Nowadays, Nintendo just like shoves Mario in your face.
you got Smash Brothers.
Smash Bros.
I
is pretty
haven't,
cool.
I haven't enjoyed Nintendo products since the GameCube.
Dude, the GameCube
Really? You didn't like-
was a...
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a big Nintendo guy,
I don't
but I
know.
love the GameCube.
I feel like I kind of grew up with Nintendo because I kind of did, but I kind of didn't at the
See-
same time. Like I grew up with a DS, so like that's like my first ever real game console.
Where I lie with Nintendo is I don't use their products, but I applaud what they do.
It's still they stay relevant in a big market where they're not
Oh
really.
god, no, they stay far
dominant,
from
yeah.
relevant. They do their own thing. Like you have
Yeah.
Sony and Microsoft that just like competes all the time, and then Microsoft's just Microsoft. Nintendo's just over there doing their own thing, like playing with their
Yeah,
cardboard.
Nintendo doesn't care.
Like, Nintendo does not care what's going on in the world of console games. They're just playing with their cardboard, having a good time, just making weird things all the time, and I love it.
Yeah.
Will I buy
Like,
it? Probably not, but I love it.
But the thing is, like, you'll have people that buy that shit.
Oh god,
That's
yeah, no,
the great
Nintendo
part.
still has a huge following, but it's still, in my eyes, I like to see what they're doing because they're just the weirdest company when it comes
Like, they're
to anything.
Like, I love when they made the 3DS, but you can't, like,
No,
I think they call it
the
the slow-
2DS.
the
2DS is
2DS,
my
where you can't,
favorite thing
where you
they've
can't
ever
even
made.
close it. You can't even
No,
close
it's
it.
my favorite thing they've ever developed. Like, I saw this, like, what is this?
It's just
It's
a
awesome.
DS
I
that
love
can't
it.
close. It's great. They made a 3DS like that now too. They just released that, I believe.
Nintendo, I love you so much. Don't ever
Like,
change-
what's the point?
don't ever change Nintendo. But I guess straying away from video game talk for a bit.
Well, actually,
we got one more.
Oh my
We got one more. There's one more thing I wanted to bring
All
up.
right, let's get it. What's up?
You guys know Rocksteady, right?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
The makers of the Arkham games.
Yep.
Well, they finished up with Arkham Knight, and everyone's been wondering, like, what they're gonna do after Arkham Knight. Like, what's the big thing they're working on? Is it another Batman game, a Justice League game, or what? And
Oh, it's not just
recently, there's been a lot. Like, there's this big leak. It's pretty much sounds like a definite that they are making a Superman game,
Oh god.
and
interesting.
and
I'll
I
never see
want
stuff
to
for
get
that, though.
I want to get your guys' opinions on it.
As long as it's
They
not
said
Superman 64, I'm okay with it.
One of the worst games ever made.
We don't
Dude,
talk
Rocks-
about that.
Rocksteady is phenomenal developers.
Oh
I
no,
trust
they
them.
are. They really are.
I
Though.
trust them. But I can kind of remember the details if you guys want to know, like
Yeah, go for
a
it. I'm
few
interested.
leaked details. All right, so apparently the map is like 20 times bigger than Arkham Knight's map is.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Just as long as they don't shove like some sort of Batmobile equivalent down my throat every 10 seconds.
Well, nah, Superman flies. So
Well,
it's
yeah,
all
but I'm
good.
just saying, like, I feel like they're gonna shove something else in my face. That's the only thing I had to say about their development is that was awful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they learned from that. I remember a sassy remark from one of the developers. They're like, "This is all you guys asked for, and now you're complaining about it."
Well, I mean, yeah, we wanted it, not that much, but you know,
Yeah.
it was
But,
cool in the beginning.
Yeah. It was cool for like 5 minutes, honestly. There's like a lot of details that like Superman's gonna be like animated series level, where he's not like Man of Steel level powerful, where he can just like throw planets.
Right.
The map is huge. Brainiac is supposed to be the villain. The environment's gonna be like semi-destructible, but like not like crazy amount.
Right.
That's really all I can remember. So like, what do you guys think about a Superman game from Rocksteady?
I probably personally won't play it or even think about it, but I think it's pretty cool.
See, I think I'd pick it up just to see what Rocksteady has to offer with something that's not Batman.
Yeah.
But I just wish, like, I understand they've mainly developed DC comic games. I get that. But I feel like there's just so many other options that they could have gone that's not Superman.
I mean,
I get Superman's
have we
probably
gotten
the
a good
easiest
Superman game?
thing. No.
So I'm gonna say it. I'll say it.
Don't say it.
Don't.
We don't need to go there anymore. We've already mentioned it. We don't need to go back there.
But that's why I'm really excited for it. We haven't had a really good Superman game, and
I feel that.
Rocksteady is great at telling stories, and they handled Batman really well. So I think they'll handle Superman really well. So
Think it's
I'm
gonna
personally
be
really excited.
A one-off game, or are they going to make a series out of it like they did Batman?
Rumor has it a Justice League game is also in development.
Mm,
Dude, what's wrong with the Justice League?
you ruined it.
What do you mean?
Oh, he's talking
Like-
about Injustice.
Injustice, like you just ruined that entire idea of
You
games like
just
that
ruined
anymore for
an
me.
entire universe. for
You
Matt.
did. You literally kind of did, actually. Like,
A
That's
Justice
awesome.
League game would be nothing like Injustice. What are you talking
I
about?
don't care, man. Any
Okay.
superhero game anymore, I'm just kind of like,
But
No.
anyways, the Superman game, the leak said it takes place in the Arkhamverse, like same universe.
Right.
And the rumor has it that the guys that made Arkham Origins are making a Justice League game, like in joint with it. So there's a lot going down apparently, and they also said that we're supposed to be getting the Superman game announcement soon, and then like more to come at E3. So
Interesting.
should be getting news soon. That's the last I know of it.
Anyone got any more video game news before we move on?
I don't think so, man.
Don't think so.
So I guess we'll change the wheels away from video games then for a bit and talk about some movies we've seen. Some good movies.
Some good movies.
Some good movies. We got Go Infinity War. No spoilers though. We're not gonna spoil anything. We're not about that life. But just general.
I'm just saying, right?
I
like,
mean,
I'm not-
Infinity War's been out a
it's the
while.
hell- yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
no, I
like,
get that, but it's still for people that haven't seen it. I don't want to ruin it.
exactly.
I mean, we
I
could-
agree
we
with
could
him because
just-
I fucking hate spoilers. I gotta watch my language. I'm sorry,
Because
but like,
no matter where I am, like if it's a movie that was out, I feel like there's got to be a limit to when you can do spoilers, and not even a year yet. I feel is a little rough. So no spoilers.
I mean, we could just throw up a spoiler warning and say, like, skip this part.
No.
Okay, fine.
No spoilers. We don't do that here. Do it live.
Fine.
Thoughts? Infinity
I-
War. Out of 10, what would we rate it?
20,000.
20,000 out of 10. Fantastic. Matt,
I give it an 8.75.
I feel like I'll give it a solid, like, maybe 9.5.
All right.
I like what they did with it. Like I like what they did with the
Infinity
story and
War.
everything. So
Infinity
See,
War.
I loved it. Like, it was really good. I feel like the only thing that it loses half a point on is so many of those people seemed underpowered
oh yeah,
that it was just sort of a little bit like, come on, you hyped these guys up for so many years. And they're just like,
But see, the thing
Yeah.
about
Underpowered as
that
fuck.
though is they've been hyping up Thanos since 2012, so he's
no,
got to
that's
be more,
true.
like he's
That's
got to
true.
be. He just
Well, that's
has
why
to
it only loses
smash.
half a point.
but then you also gotta realize like they almost had that glove off him. But then like obviously you have to add.
Okay, there are spoilers now, so
God damn it,
all right. You know what?
God, man.
they don't know. I'm sorry.
We're done with that. It was a good run, but there's spoilers now, so talk as you want. We'll throw up a spoiler warning.
Oh, we're talking spoilers now.
Yeah, Matt ruined it, so I can't be
How?
bothered
Like I
anymore.
just said, they almost got the glove off. That's all I said.
Well, yeah, but
Like,
no
it's
one's seen
kinda-
that.
Exactly.
God, Matt, you spoiler
Well, exactly.
machine.
If no one's seen it, then that's like
Obviously,
a spoiler. Come on
obviously
now.
they're gonna have at one point the glove's gonna almost come off. It's basically like any other movie.
What do you
Come on.
mean? It's like any other movie. No, it's not. Okay.
Every
so-
movie has the point of a suspension, and then it has to drop a little bit to where it's like, oh, and then you get back.
Oh, dude,
All right.
I
Well,
love
now that we're
Infinity
just throwing in
War, so-
spoilers, it doesn't matter. Just talk about Infinity War freely. It was a good movie.
I honestly think Infinity War is like my favorite movie. Like, I loved
Recently,
it
yeah, I can
so
say that.
much. I loved it so much, dude. Like,
It was a pretty emotional movie.
It
dude,
was.
thinking about
cried.
it, I can't think of anything I disliked.
Like I
Like,
said, just the underpowered thing was kind of for me, but I get like the hype behind Thanos had to be there. But I just feel like, you know, they could have done more for some of the characters. Like
We wanted-
at the end of the day, sure they lost, but give
Yeah.
them something.
dude, you want to talk power? Let's talk about the MVP of the movie, Thor.
Thor.
Oh hell yeah!
He was a boss the whole time. Like, I was not expecting to come out of this movie saying Thor was my favorite part of the movie.
You know-
Because his movies have been pretty lackluster-ish
True.
But man, he was, pun intended, godly in this movie.
Can I just throw out one thing that kind of bothers me after watching the movie and thinking about like possible things they could have done? Why couldn't Doctor Strange just like portal around Thanos' arm and just cut his arm off?
It would have made a short movie.
But come on, though.
I mean, Wong did do that to someone.
Exactly.
So you're right.
Exactly.
You're right. So
why did that happen?
There's really no explanation.
So you're telling me that Doctor Strange looked into the future and saw millions of possible outcomes, and none of that happened? At not one point was that an outcome.
I mean, maybe one of the things in one of the futures was he tried that and it went wrong for some reason.
I understand. I mean, I understand, but like, I still, it just drives me crazy that could have been a thing. But
maybe there's like a thing with the Infinity Gauntlet that like doesn't let it get like chopped off.
Well, I know what actually caught me off real guard in that movie is when they were taking freaking, I can't even think right now. Help me with his name right now. I can't think of his name. The guy with the stone in his head. I can't think right now.
Vision.
I'm blacking out. Thank you. Blanking out. You know what I mean? I can't think. Dude, you know what? Let me be. I can't speak in the first place. When they revived him, Thanos twisted back time on him. With the stone. That caught me off guard.
Mad.
I'm like, what? Like all that effort for what?
It was crazy though. It was a good movie. At the end of the day, it was really good. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you've seen it, go see it again.
If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can blame Matt for that one.
Let's before we get off of Infinity War, let's should we pick our top 3 characters in the movie or favorite part?
That's rough. I don't care. Well, we do both.
Okay, we can do both. Okay, so I'll go first. I'm prepared.
Okay.
We know this.
I think about this movie every day. Favorite part was it's a tie between 2 Thor scenes. The first one being when he's holding the like welder open when the sun is like destroying him, but he's like taking it because he's a god.
Right.
He's just taking it. Like that part was amazing. And then
toss up. Toss up. What do we got?
And then his entrance in Wakanda.
Oh hell yeah!
Bring me Thanos. That was sick. That was the sickest thing in the world.
That was really good.
So those are my favorite moments.
What about you? Favorite moment?
So like, my favorite moment isn't really like it's a favorite moment, but like it's not a favorite moment. It's like something that sticks in my head so much because it's so emotional. Is when Thanos started crying and then throws her off the fucking cliff. I started bawling my eyes out.
That had me shook, dude.
I feel like for me, it has to be the reintroduction to Cap.
Oh yeah,
it's gotta be.
My theater was clapping at that part.
It's gotta be.
It was great. The music kicks in. Like that's my boy. That's the Cap.
My boy. He's all grown up.
The CGI on Thanos, dude, was insane. He looked real. He looked real.
Favorite characters, Calvin?
Favorite characters.
What are we doing? Top 3?
Top 3, yeah. Top 3 works. Alright, so obviously one of mine has to be Thor.
Obviously.
And then I'd probably say Doctor Strange. And then Spider-Man. I think I enjoyed those two the most.
Matt?
Probably gonna go with Thor because he was really good in this movie. Captain America, I really liked him in this movie. I'm trying to think, and I'm gonna go with Thanos. I like
Good
Thanos a
pick.
lot.
Good pick.
It's a good pick.
What a guy.
So
A well-written character.
Thor's not on my list. I mean, don't get me wrong. He did some good stuff. He's not on my list.
Oof.
See,
Oof.
the order does not matter. It's not like 1 to 3. It doesn't matter. I'm just going off.
Mine wasn't in order.
I got to go to Doctor Strange for one of them.
Yep.
Definitely. I got to go with Cap just because he stopped
Yep.
Thanos' hand somehow. What he had, what?
I mean,
Or
he got
Infinity
smacked
Stones?
down immediately after.
Well, yeah, but he managed to hold off Thanos' grip with 4 Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
So I gotta give it to Cap, and I think I gotta go with
think it was
Scarlet
5,
Witch.
actually. Scarlet Witch. I love Scarlet Witch.
I gotta give it to
Scarlet
Scarlet
Witch,
Witch.
yeah.
It's gotta be. That's my top 3. It's just and close number 3 or whatever somewhere on the list. Bucky, just because it's Bucky.
Bucky.
Okay.
I just gotta throw him in there somewhere, just because I can just Bucky. I guess I can't help.
Can't wait for him to become Cap in Avengers 4, dude. You know it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
I hope not.
So
Dude. Last thing on Avengers. Quicksilver's coming back in the next one.
he's got it.
I'm calling it.
Oh yeah.
A lot of reports lately that the actor was spotted on set, so I'm holding out hope.
I like him a lot. I like the
he
actor
was
a lot.
really good.
I miss him every day.
So I guess stepping off of movies, I think that's the only movie that we've all seen is Infinity War. We still have to get caught up with the rest.
Yeah.
But, switching into some
you
news.
guys don't rush out as much as I do.
Nah, I
You
don't
know what,
have- I
Calvin?
don't have
I'm
time.
sorry. Sorry, we work jobs, buddy. We work. All right.
I mean, I do too a little bit. How do you think I pay for the movies? Dude?
That's true. But I guess we gotta step away from that for a bit. Step into some news.
Go see Solo. Go see Deadpool.
Go see Solo.
That's all
Go
I'm
see
gonna say.
Deadpool. And we'll probably talk about that next month when we've all seen it.
Maybe.
But stepping into some news, Google recently dropped some cool stuff with Google Duplex.
Yeah.
I think,
You guys are gonna have to tell me about this. I
Alright,
don't know what
so
it is.
Google Duplex, right, is basically an addition to their assistant where like they can just do things. You can have the Google Assistant tell you news, and there's a whole thing behind Google Home.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're doing now is updating their Google Assistant to basically have it be an automated system to where it can do 3 things for you currently, where it's it can schedule a hair appointment,
Okay.
it can make reservations for you at a restaurant, and get holiday hours for a business. But it's fully automated, and you do not have to do a thing minus tell it to schedule you a hair appointment at whatever place, or can you schedule a reservation for this time at this restaurant, or whatever, or get its holiday hours. I
Mhm.
think it's crazy, personally.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing feat actually for technology. Like having someone like just telling your technology just to do something for you, and it's doing it functionally and correctly.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens when that actually rolls out. Because it sounded really good in their demo.
I mean,
It did. Even though
is
there's
it-
room. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna ask is this just a normal Google thing, or do you have to have the Pixel or
I think it's just
a
a
certain
normal.
device?
I think it's a normal Android thing because every Android has Google Assistant
Google
built into it.
Assistants, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's going to be.
So like
across
I would have it.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah, but I wonder if people like me who have the Google Pixel will have more advantages with it or have more features.
I don't think so because it's just sort of. I don't think they'll be able to. That would take a lot of extra coding to get
Yeah.
it to be. They'd have to have 2 different versions. They'd have to
That's what
have
I
one
figured,
for
yeah.
the Google phones, and they'd have to have one for other Androids. So it'd probably just be more beneficial to keep it in a single platform.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said, Matt, people are saying that it's fake,
Yeah, the rumors. Yeah, or it's scripted.
scripted. What? Yeah,
Yeah,
but
which I don't believe it was. Like, because they're bringing out ideas like it's like how does it know what appointment like where it was? But like they could easily just edit that out and basically like, where you don't hear the guy's voice. You know what I mean?
yeah. See, the only thing that kind of throws it off for me is the filler words.
Yeah.
So, Kellen, you haven't seen the tech demo, right?
I think I saw like a second of it, but I
Right.
have not actually watched it. No.
So if you go out and actually watch the tech demo, you'll notice at first it looks really good. It sounds good. It's doing a really fantastic job. But the thing that always just threw it off was whenever it used a filler word. So at some point, I forget, they had, 2 different tech demos, one scheduling a hair appointment and then the restaurant. The fact that it would use words like, and stuff like that just sort of throws it off a bit for me. It's like, is it really going to say that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, because that's human. That's actually human speak. It's not like because if you think of a robot, you won't think of like it adding those fillers. You think it would just talk normally. Like it's basically its own dictionary.
Like, it's a very impressive demo for sure, but I can see where the skepticism's coming in, especially from people throwing Google answers and they are not, or throwing them questions rather, and they have no answers. It's kind of shady, but if it's real, props to Google.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I guess we'll see though.
Sounds interesting. Yeah, I remember watching a video and it being like, okay, or something like
Yeah, exactly. It
Yeah, I
uses
remember
fillers
that.
somehow, but like I said, though, if it is true and it wasn't faked, which I kind of find it hard if it would be, I don't think Google would just go out there and be like, "Here's something we don't have."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why
Because
they
you're
would
gonna have
fake it.
ridiculous hype behind this product and have it not well. I guess that happens all the time. You're gonna have hype behind a product and it's not gonna meet.
Not gonna work as.
It's
yeah.
not gonna meet expectations. So I can kind of see that being an issue, but I don't know. I guess we'll see though. But leading in
I
away
probably
from,
wouldn't use it.
I mean, they're throwing it more towards busy people, like the single mother that has to wake up their children, get them ready for school, but still wants to go out for dinner later that night or get a haircut. They can just have their Google Assistant do it while they go about their day doing their day-to-day tasks.
I'd just be worried it'd like mess it up.
Yeah, see, that's my issue with it. Because it's not fully tested. Well, I'm sure they've tested it, but not to the extent of some other issues that could arise.
I know, because like remember like you was using using your Google Assist, like you talk into it and sometimes it doesn't even hear the voices, like the right words. Like obviously I have a hard time speaking, so like I have that trouble all the time. Wonder if it like would pick up on that, and you know what I mean?
I know your Google Assistant eventually comes tuned to you as a person.
You,
so
yeah.
it sort of figures things out after a while. But I just feel like throwing it into a conversation with a random person is just kind of
When you feel like it would
hard.
catch that person off guard.
Well, I mean, it doesn't
It
sound
doesn't sound
like the
robot-y,
Google
but like
Assistant actually does, but at the same point, it's still just kind of awkward, I guess.
I feel like I would tell it to make an appointment for something, and then I'd forget that I told it to, and I'd forget about the appointment.
Well, it sends you a message reminding you, and then it puts in like your
Yeah.
calendar.
it puts it in your calendar, yeah.
Right.
But I mean, what happens when your Google Assistant first comes across a situation that has no idea how to deal with? Is he just gonna sit there and go,
Yeah, that's
But what happens
I
then?
think that's what I saw something concerning about that, because like it's a serious issue. Like, what the hell do you do then?
Is that you're gonna put it in a billion different situations with multiple people, and everyone has their own way of speaking, everyone has their own dialect.
Mhm.
So it's just going to be, I guess, confusing for it at some point in time. But I'm assuming if it is actually going to happen, which I'm sure it will, that those kinks will be worked out in a couple of years. If there are any.
It's Google, man.
I'll figure it out.
But
if anyone can do it, it's Google.
another topic that we want to talk about is some Comcast and Disney stuff going on.
Comcast.
Cal, would you like to lead us into this one?
Yeah. I probably know the most about it, seeing as I'm a huge nerd. Basically, a few months ago, if not weeks, be quiet. Sorry, my dog was. Brody, what are you doing?
Oh, Calvin's
He's
got
like crying. He's like
Aw.
crying. But
always attend to
so-
the animals.
So a few months ago, if not weeks, I don't even remember how long it's been. Fox is like, we selling, yo, who wants us? And turns out Disney was very seriously like looking into this, and at one point it had even like been official that like Disney has acquired 20th Century Fox, and everyone thought it was done for. But then all of a sudden Comcast is like, yo, we looking to get in on this. And they're talking about the deal is coming to a close soon, and Comcast has released a statement saying that they're preparing to outbid Disney for the company.
Please no.
And they're looking. I know. What was it? Disney's bid was $52.4 billion.
It was something crazy like that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of mixed feelings. I personally, I don't want anyone to buy Fox. I want it to stay how it is.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen with how it's looking. So I guess if I'd have to pick one, I'd pick Disney just so we could see the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with the whole deal. That it's a big reason I do not want Disney to get Fox. Besides the Marvel stuff, like look past that, Fox owns so many things.
Oh,
like
God,
Fox has like The Simpsons, Alien, Predator.
Yeah, Fox is crazy.
Fox is like so many things, like too many to name. Like, what happens to all those once Disney acquires it?
Monopoly.
Pretty much.
Disney's gonna have a monopoly of everything, and then there goes, movies, television, everything basically,
Like,
all in Disney's hand.
here's my main thing. Fox has like some quality films.
Yeah.
Like films. Disney, do they have quality films? I feel like they have good movies, but do they have quality films, like superb films? like this is a Marvel movie, but take Logan for example. That movie,
Avatar.
phenomenal. Avatar Fox?
Yeah, the 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's another one.
Right.
Like and the scary movies like Alien, Predator, all that stuff.
So, like, basically, Fox
Disney
has so
doesn't
much
do stuff like that.
that you can
Disney
just
doesn't
go
do
back.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
So, like, I'm just worried about what's going to happen to the film industry once Disney owns everything, because it's starting to look like they will.
I mean, I guess it all
Like-
comes down to what kind of deal they make. I mean, if Fox still has some creative control over their product.
I'm wondering if they're going to keep like the Fox name around, or like just get rid of it, or what.
Right. Because, I mean,
Like,
that
I'm
would be the
wondering-
issue.
Yeah. Like maybe if they buy Fox, it'll be exactly the same, just Disney owns it.
That's still gonna be an issue because
But-
behind the scenes, like Disney's gonna have basically all control.
Yeah.
It's like Disney's
mean-
gonna be basically telling what Fox to do. It's gonna be like yeah, Fox say this, or
Yeah.
But looking
I
at
just
some
don't
news
know.
with it, though, apparently still despite Comcast's potential bid, Fox and Disney have still said they're pressing forward with their planned merger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably going to still go to Disney.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
I wouldn't even consider Fox a contender, even if they put a bid in for it. To be honest,
I mean,
I mean,
Comcast?
Comcast, yeah, my bad.
It's all good. Yeah, I think it's gonna go to Disney just because of the crazy money Marvel will make them.
Yeah. That's got to be what it is, because if you're going to hand it to either, Disney or Comcast, I feel Disney is probably your best bet. At least in the situation if it has to go to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's how I've heard some people explain it, like their opinions on it. Like, a lot of people share my opinion. It'll be good for superhero movies, like Marvel. It'll be great for Marvel.
But for everything
Terrible
else.
for everything else.
Right.
So, I have mixed feelings. Like,
Yeah.
like part of me is really excited because the X-Men are like my favorite thing in Marvel next to Spider-Man. Like, I absolutely love the X-Men. But I'm also a big film guy and I love watching normal films. And I don't know if Disney's going to keep that up.
I don't think they would,
I mean,
unless they would keep Fox you know what I mean? Like,
I don't.
honestly, I feel there'd be too much of an uproar if they didn't. I mean, granted, Disney just has the money to say, no, we're not doing that. But I feel if they want views on other stuff and not end up getting boycotted by a whole group of people, they're going to have to keep some of that stuff around.
I would hope so.
I mean, is it still going to be quality? I have no idea. But
Yeah, I don't know what to expect.
But
I have
I guess
no idea.
talking about Disney, another thing we wanted to bring up was what do you guys think? Am making too many Star Wars movies?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean,
Boba
you
Fett
guys-
movie? Why? There's no need.
You guys know me. I'm the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. Like, I got a Millennium Falcon cup on my desk right now.
Nice.
I have Star Wars posters all over the place. I got Star Wars figures all over the place. Star Wars everything in my room. But we do not need a Star Wars movie every year.
No,
Like,
I'm
it's
100% on board with that. Like, agree
It's-
with you.
It's
too
getting
much.
ridiculous. They're gonna it's gonna get to the point where Star Wars isn't a special thing anymore. Like it is.
exactly.
It's going to be Call of Duty all over again,
for
but
God's
from the
sake.
movies.
Like,
I agree with that 100%. When it first came out and you had one every couple of years, it was like, oh man, there's a new Star Wars. There's a new Star Wars. Like, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. But now it's,
the last
oh, do you want to go see
the
the
la-
Star Wars?
the last movie before Solo was only 5 months ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's insane. So like, it's like hurting me because I don't want Star Wars to like become irrelevant
Right.
and just boring. So like, it's painful for me. And just this week alone, they've announced 2 movies. That's insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's crazy, dude.
At the end of the day, there's too many of them. You need to
Yeah.
cut back.
I think I read somewhere that after episode 9 comes out, they're gonna slow down. So
I mean,
Well,
if they
let's
still
hope.
want to have a major draw, I mean, don't get me wrong, people still go see a Star Wars movie when it comes out, but they'll probably see a dip in sales because people aren't going to be as excited to go see it day one anymore because it's not
Yeah.
going to be something special. It's just going to be something that they do every year.
I mean, I didn't go see Solo day 1,
Exactly.
and I'm the biggest fan in the world. So I honestly just wasn't that excited for this movie because
Like when the reboot first happened, everyone was excited. Everyone was excited.
Yeah.
dude, episode 7 opening night, one of the
But
best
then-
days of my life.
But now you slowly start to progress away from it because you're just getting bored of seeing the same universe every year.
I mean, it's different with like superhero movies because
Yeah.
it's so different. Like the characters are so different, and
Well, superhero movies, I would say, are different in a matter of they're not pumping out the same thing every year
yeah,
because you're going to get a different, well, depending on, DC or Marvel. You're going to get a different superhero every year, every so often. But the Star Wars universe is all just sort of really similar.
Yeah, they're all kind of like mushed in together with each other.
Yeah. It's like it's hard to explain, but like I don't know, it's like for superhero movies it's like comic books for me, where like I could just keep going because there's like so many stories to do.
Right.
But with Star Wars, like a movie every year,
is eventually you're going to run out of content.
Yeah. And like they have 2 different trilogies planned, like a TV show in the works, like 2 TV shows actually.
Eventually they're just going to dry up.
Yeah. Which I would hate to happen because I love Star Wars so much.
I would love for it to happen.
Matt's not a Star Wars fan.
I am not.
So. But I guess drifting away from Disney and stuff now and getting back into a little bit of tech deals. We recently had Apple sue Samsung for 3 patents, which Apple has won the lawsuit, and Samsung now has to pay them $539 million.
Apple actually won?
Oh yeah, they won the lawsuit.
This lawsuit's been going on since 2011, and they wanted to start off for what, 2.1 billion, I think it was.
Yeah, they're suing Samsung for phones that they made back in 2011, but they broke 3 patent designs. They broke there was patent D677, which all of these are ridiculous patents. I feel like shouldn't have been allowed to be a thing, but somehow managed to be. So D677 describes a black, rectangular, round-cornered front face for an electronic device.
What?
So
that is so descriptive for no reason.
So that was one patent that Apple has, and Samsung
like
broke because they
phone in the
basically just designed a black, rounded face for a phone.
That's any phone in the world.
Then we had another one that they broke was patent D087, which describes a similar rectangular round-cornered front face plus the surrounding bezel. So again, just the generic front of a phone nowadays, and they had a patent for it.
I'm literally shook.
But I
think
think
Apple has a patent for everything.
So besides, both of those were for the front face and whatever like that, they had another one, D3805, which describes a grid of colorful icons, and they had a patent for it.
Wait, can you go more into is that all it's saying about that patent?
Yeah, it's just, here, I can look more into the patent, but basically all it is just describing the grid of icons, and they're colorful.
These patents are literally saying, don't make a smartphone.
Yeah, they're basically like, here's an iPhone or a regular phone, smartphone from the 21st century. Here you go.
You want to know what that is, kids? Want to know what that is? A monopoly.
Okay, so I apparently can't look into
it's a lesson for you.
For that.
Wow.
That's actually insane.
Because that is one of the least descriptive patents I've ever heard of.
Yeah, they're all ridiculous. And somehow Apple managed to win that lawsuit. Apple, don't sue me. But
my mind is blown.
But I mean, how do you... That's basically just a generic phone.
That is...
Like, if they wanted to, they can sue, like, Huawei and other phone companies like HTC and just be like, you have a rounded edge front face camera and it has a little bezel. Pay me money.
Pay me money.
Give me all of your cash. But, like, you kidding me?
Honestly, it's like... But that's what I hate about Apple so much is that they have more patents like that where it's absolutely insane. Where you think like maybe like front-facing camera that can zoom in at this mount, where like basically every phone can do that. You know what I mean? It's beyond ridiculous, and that's one of the reasons why I hate them because they're a monopoly and it shouldn't be allowed.
Like I know we're getting into the whole debate of Apple versus Android, but it's still just a matter of how do you have those patents? How do you get those patents? Like, if I was to say, oh, you can't have a sharpened piece of metal and attach a handle to it, and no one else was allowed to like make knives. Like,
Yeah.
what's that?
I can't believe they're allowed to do that.
But I mean, then you figure once those patents are out, then everyone is just gonna be able to already just recopy the same design. It's just ridiculous. But the one that I really like, we'll go back to the whole colored grid icons. Well, what else are they supposed to... Like,
Yeah,
like the whole app stuff, like, what, do you just want them to be black and white and not in a grid formation? Like, what else are you gonna do?
What can you do? That's insane, dude. Like, I don't even know what else to say besides that's insane.
And the thing is, like, the setup of an Apple screen and an Android screen are just totally different too. They're not even like relatively close.
I mean,
I
nowadays,
personally
sure.
think.
But
Yeah.
back when they were the rectangular rounded devices, it was like, sure, they looked almost identical, minus one said Samsung and one had an Apple on the back.
Yeah.
But nowadays, not really, but that's why they're getting away with suing them from phones they made in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Like a phone that no one's going to go out and buy anymore. Like whatever profit they made on that phone, they already made that profit. No one's going to go out and buy that phone anymore.
Basically what they gave away was like a quarter of the profit they made on the phones back then.
Pretty
Not
much.
even.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money still, but
It is.
it's like,
But companies like that's kind of like, here, just take it.
no,
You know what I mean?
100%, but it's still just, the patents are stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I was going to say, I guess we'll see what happens, but we already know that Samsung owes them a stupid amount of money for patents that really shouldn't have existed, in my opinion.
I don't know if anyone thinks they should have existed.
Let me look at this quick.
Like, at least they didn't have to pay like the initials to offering of $2.1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could have gotten more, but it's just still ridiculous.
Definitely insane.
Insane in the membrane.
But we still got some Apple news leading off of that. We got recently in the news the continuation of the Steam Link coming to mobile devices.
Ah, yes.
So you guys were saying that you didn't really know too much about the Steam Link, right?
Not as much as you probably do. Like,
about it.
yeah, I have a general idea.
So basically what Valve did with this is basically it started off with a little box that you would connect to your TV like you would any other device, like an HDMI cable, and it would run like a console almost, to where it would stream games from your computer to your TV.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to like wire your computer to your TV, and you just make it some nice little process and makes it nice and easy. It also integrated their Steam controller stuff, so you didn't have to use a mouse and keyboard and all that good stuff. And what they want to do now is they were thinking about bringing it over to mobile devices, Android and iOS, and we're gonna have it to where your iPhone or Android could basically stream your games from your PC, or certain games around that. I'm not too sure about the mobile portion of it, but I know it's to bring like Valve-related games to mobile devices.
Okay, yeah.
And both Apple and Android both said at first that they were down for it, they were game for it to happen, and everyone's really excited to see it happen. But recently, Apple decided to pull out of the deal and are no longer a part of this project.
I wonder why.
Did they ever give a reasoning why they did that?
I don't know what this guy's relation is, but Bill Schiller from Apple. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name. I don't know what you do there, but he basically gave a statement saying, "We care deeply about bringing great games to all of our users on the App Store. We would love to have Valve games and services to be on iOS and Apple TV. Unfortunately, the review team found that Valve's Steam iOS app, as currently submitted, violates a number of guidelines around user-generated content, in-app purchases, content codes, etc. We've discussed these issues with Valve and will continue to work with them to help bring the Steam experience to iOS and Apple TV in a way that compiles with the store's guidelines. We put great effort into creating an app store that provides the very best experience for everyone. We have clear guidelines that all developers must follow in order to ensure the app store is a safe place for all users and a fair opportunity for all developers.
Interesting.
So basically,
really,
like, we don't want you here because we have independent developers that are making games.
Yeah. So like really, it's like they're saying they don't want them, but like they're not initially saying they don't want them. They're making it seem like, yeah, it's like they're going against violations, but truly they're like, yeah, no, fuck you.
I mean,
like, yeah, we don't need you. That's
to me, it sounds like they're saying like Valve did something wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say that they did something wrong or didn't do something wrong, because I can see the guidelines being an issue, like whatever. Sure, you don't want to ruin someone else's game, like you don't want to take away the developer that made a bootleg copy of one of your games. But, you know, I just think it would be a missed opportunity.
Oh yeah, it's gonna rack in so much money. You have no like how much do you think?
A service that is so useful for anyone that wants to play games and not be considered like a real mobile gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Like sit there and play Candy Crush all day long, but to actually sit there and be able to play an actual game on your smartphone would be so cool.
So like how will that work? Like,
so basically, they're hoping to use it over like a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. So you're gonna have to have like a really speedy internet. Well, not necessarily really speedy. Like 5 gigahertz nowadays is sort of standard for newer internet, at least, or like a wired Ethernet connection. To like your Apple TV or smart TV or whatever. So either really good Wi-Fi or a wired connection.
So
then you connect to your Steam account and be like, I want to play this game.
Okay, so you connect to your Steam account.
Yeah, so basically, all it's doing is whatever games you have on your Steam account, depending on how they decide to port things over, would make it playable on your mobile device.
Do you have to be near your computer to do that?
Yeah, so basically, I've done it before, Matt. You've seen me do it. I can take my laptop away from my room and my desk and my desktop and be able to still stream games that I have installed on my desktop onto my laptop. So they're basically implying the same concept there, except a bit easier.
Yeah.
So it's like where I stream my Xbox to my computer sometimes.
Exactly. Same concept, just sort of execute a bit differently. It's like the Steam Link used to be a little box that you do it with, but now they're hoping to just do it through an app.
So I have to be near my computer and it has to be on.
Same Wi-Fi network. And yes, it has to be on.
I don't see the point then. Why not just get on my computer and play?
Well, I'm not sure if you had to be on the same Wi-Fi network or if it's going to run off your account. I'm not too sure how they plan on doing the app yet. But basically, it would just be a matter of if you can't be on your computer, like if you can't be on the same Wi-Fi network, you'd be able to play games on like the bus.
Yeah, no, that'd feel
How
like
would it play it though?
Yeah.
A phone like couldn't handle like Black Ops 3 like I have on my computer.
Well, yeah, not like that, but I mean, depending on what it is, I'm assuming they'll still connect their Steam controller stuff. I'm sure that's going to be heavily driven into it. They're going to need a Steam controller to play games with, so they don't have to develop touch controls. But most phones nowadays are crazy when it comes to what they have installed in them compared to what it was years ago. Most phones nowadays come with like 8 gigs of RAM. That's standard for any computer nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you'd be touching would be graphics, because you're not going to have like a 1080 Ti slammed into your phone.
Oh yeah, no. Pretty dope though.
So your graphics might take a cut, but I mean,
I'm very confused. I don't see how it would work. Like practically, I mean, like I could see like streaming it to my phone in the house, but like, say I'm out say I'm at a movie theater and the movie doesn't start, like I got there really early and it doesn't start for a while, and I'm like, I'm gonna get on my Steam account, play some Black Ops 3, some zombies, some custom zombies. Like,
See, well, I'm not sure how in depth they go because I'm not too familiar with the Steam Link stuff because I'm in the same boat you are. Like, I'll just sit at my computer and play video games if that's what I really want to do.
mm-hmm.
But I can see the appeal of the Steam Link box itself that you can hook up to a TV and be able to stream to an actual TV from your computer. Like,
Yeah, no, that.
Like, I
I
can
mean,
get that
if you really wanted to do that, you could just hook a HDMI from your computer to it.
Yeah, that
Okay,
means
but
less
what if
wiring running
what
around.
if your TV's
Yeah,
across the room or
less
downstairs?
wiring, or upstairs. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I have a laptop, so
Well, exactly,
Well, I'm just saying, like,
but it's appeal to a
yeah,
desktop
like-
community that wants to play on a bigger screen opposed to their maybe like 19-inch monitor
Yeah,
and wants
so,
to
like,
like
have-
go on a 50-inch flat screen.
You gotta realize, like right now, like I'm downstairs, like on my TV, where like my computer is upstairs. You know what I mean?
I mean, I definitely see the appeal, but like talking about this mobile thing,
Well, the mobile thing is where it's going to be confusing. They don't really have too much on how they plan on doing it yet. But, you know, I'm assuming it's going to be not too demanding games. Like, it's going to be simple stuff that's going to be able to run with minimal hardware. But,
see, I watched this video. It was from a tech convention, and these dudes are showing off their thing. It was like this supercomputer that you could play anywhere, like stream to your phone from anywhere. Like, how to explain it? I haven't watched it in a long time. Like, it's not your computer. Like, they have these like supercomputers at like a base.
oh, I know. Are you talking about the company that invested like to storing stuff in the cloud, like the computer stored in the cloud?
Yeah. It was the cloud.
Not different concept compared to what Valve's doing, but
Well,
sort
see,
of
I
along
feel
the
like
but sort of along the same lines, kind of.
because it was for games.
Yeah, but what Valve is doing is more or less. It's hard to explain because I've kind of just explained it the same way every time. To take what you already have and just put it on a different device.
I mean,
That company is storing a computer on servers and then sending you a box that connects to said servers and runs like that server.
Technology, man. It's getting to the point where it's starting to confuse me.
Are you too old, Calvin?
I'm getting too old, dude. I'm 20, and it's starting to confuse me.
Wow. But
Dude,
I
I
think
don't know.
I mean that's pretty much all the topics we had, so I guess that was our first episode of Husetarts Radio.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Guess so.
Can I get a yeehaw?
No.
No.